With AutoCAD's large collection of tools and preferences, we need a way to identify the state of many common drawing settings. This is where the status bar comes in. The status bar is located at the bottom of the screen, and it displays information about the drawing environment as well as the current state of many of our drawing settings. Let's take a look. First of all, this area over here on the left shows us the location of our cursor. As I move around on screen, you can see those coordinates changing. Next, we have a row of icons that represent several common drawing settings. If you hover over an icon, AutoCAD will tell you the setting that it controls. Note that you can also see the keyboard shortcut there as well. Now, each of these icons is a toggle. If you click it once, you can turn the setting off. Click it again, you can turn it on. The icons that are light blue are the ones that are currently turned on. Now, I'd like to make a change. I'm going to move over here to the grid toggle, also controlled using F7. I'm going to click the icon once to turn the grid off. I'll click it again to turn it back on. Now, we'll talk about the specific functions of several of these guys later. For right now, I'd like you to turn all of them off with the exception of grid and transparency. This way, as we run through the tutorials, your AutoCAD should function similar to mine. Later on, once we've talked about the settings, you can determine which ones you'd like to use, but for the time being, let's just limit ourselves to these two settings. Moving down the status bar a little bit further, we'll find an icon that we can use to jump back and forth between a model space viewport and a layout tab. I've got some buttons here I can use to jump back and forth in between layouts or between open drawings. Right here I have some settings that show me the current annotation size as well as visibility state for my annotative objects like text or dimensions. I have a workspace toggle down here, just one more place where I can select a new tool set. Using this padlock, I can lock my interface. If I select this, you can see we have various levels of locking. I'm going to come down to All and choose Locked. And at this point, you can see that I can no longer drag panels into model space, nor can I drag my palettes on screen. Essentially, the interface is completely locked down. I'm going to click the padlock again. We'll put things back the way they were. The icon right next to the padlock is displaying whether hardware acceleration is turned on. If you are using an Autodesk certified video card, you'll want this setting turned on. If you are not, or if you are having problems with the display on your screen, you can click this icon and you can turn hardware acceleration off. Sometimes that will improve the performance of your video. The next icon is showing me that I am working with a trusted DWG file. In other words, this is a file that was saved from an Autodesk product. The light bulb is letting me know if I have any items that are currently hidden from display on screen. And finally, I have an icon down on the end called Clean Screen, also toggled using Control-0. If I click this, AutoCAD will hide the display of many of my interface items and allow me to view my drawing as large as possible on screen. This is a nice tool to use if you're having a meeting with a consultant and you'd like to display your drawings on screen. I'm going to move back down. I'll click Clean Screen again to put things back the way they were. As you can see, the status bar is a place where you'll be checking often. It's a one-stop shop for accessing popular drawing and environment settings, not to mention allowing us to identify the state of those settings at a glance.